Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice Defense. Now, are we ever going to get fuel? Oh, hey. Can we go here to here? Just take those down. Okay, well, we really need to advance to there. So, oh, good, we're going to die. Oh, punching deep. We've got this as a nice little pocket now. Oh, we've just had a major victory, right? Oh, here, okay. 28. 28 brigades, divisions, well, obviously 28 brigades. Those other things? Wow. Here we're just stacking up so much stuff. Yeah, I think I want to do that. We're going to there, so you go here. Maybe a pick up. Well, unable to supply that. Another major victory, excellent. Good. Well, I guess we will move these guys here. Taking out that pocket, so you guys start racing east to try to catch up with. Everything else, they're good. That's going there, which will cut off these guys. Those are moving through there. If you cross the river there. You come that way. I'm going to keep you coming there, but take on that one. Oh, take out that. For one, okay, and there's 0 hours. So you here, you from here, right there. Nope. Okay, well now we got that to be careful. That should blunt their attack. We've been flying supplies at them. Yeah. Gonna spread out a bit. Yeah, well, it doesn't look like we're doing too well. So I can see. So you're about exhausted, so are you. Oh, you're okay, so you still talking there. So now you guys finally stop being attacked. You have organization, so you come through here. And you're functional. Like that. Somewhat functional, yeah. You're somewhat functional. You guys go here. Now, you support that attack. I want to kill these big pockets. Oh, God. They're all attacking. We're Over there, so we can... No, no, no. No. You. We support that attack. Take down that signal. Oh good, we've commenced our attack on Stalingrad itself. Yeah. I'll try to be smart. Send the cavalry that way. Instead of sending everybody into the city. Often talked about how I would have isolated Stalingrad before throwing huge amounts of manpower into it. No, I think we can get better. We need a lot more reinforcements, so let's lock this down. And then let's unlock these. So, okay, there we go. Well, let's see what attack we have. Okay, we're not going in here, so that. Supplies, go over there. Air supply there. Well, we are pushing deeper and deeper and deeper. So that's going back and forth across every possible river. Well, let's race it. Okay, well, we're being hit hard. We're exhausted, so let's push that way. Let's support that attack. Okay, well, let you go back to the isolated. Okay, well, let's see. Attack pilot training. Good, very good. And we'll end that. We'll dig our way out of that deficit. Okay. Get these guys soon. Who needs supplies? Been a little while since I looked, so let's go. Okay. Good, good. Let's go look and see what's going on after. I don't think they have changed. there. We made it down here. Should we support an attack? Will these guys ever make it across the Indian Ocean? Now we should have, yes, a heavy armor unit. Here's a good leader. Yeah, there we go. That should help deal with any allied landings there. Coming in late, I think, this year. Because that's when they did historically. Might as well keep advancing. Support the attack. You keep moving. Please. You will support the attack. Now what I want to do now is, they're going to know, of course they don't know what they're going to do because I haven't said anything. I haven't said yet. What I said, oh, maybe I said something different. These guys. Well, let's paradrop. We can retreat back out this way. Stay within the organization levels. Let's see how that looks once they land there. Car division shattered over now. Everyone's been doing their job reasonably well. Oh good, here we go. Let's attach you to... Oh, yeah, clinic one maybe. Oh, now we've dropped targets on stream. Now, I think we might want to do some more of that. Okay. Let's stop you. And I think we have your landing division. So let's stop you and you're waiting. So let's see if we can load you up. And fly you down to your supply, so fly you down to there. Board. Yeah, not enough space on the one. Okay, let's look around for transport. Okay, no, not the glider. Guys, okay, yeah, that's the one we will. Okay, yeah, we're doing important work, but we need to go over here now. Rebase. Okay, we just had a whole bunch of stuff show up. Okay, well, let's... our fun games. Let's send that. Close air support ground crew train, that's good. Assault guns advance. I think that goes great out. Yeah. Bira is dead. Well, we were attacking Bira's train a while ago, so I guess we got Bira. With that. Okay. Indisha Legion. The Legion phrase Indian, or the Indish Legion, variously known as the Tiger Legion, the Free India Legion, the Hind Legion, and the Indish Free Willing Legion Regiment 950, or the LR 950, or no, IR, sorry. Should, pay attention a little closer, shouldn't I, of course, to what I'm reading. Regiment was an Indian armed unit raised in 1941 attached to the German Army Wehrmacht Heer, ostensibly according to the concept of the Indian Liberation Force during World War II by Subhash Chandra Bose in Nazi Germany. Okay, cool. Normally I'm well on the way of trying to use that in India, but not at this moment. From 1942 through 1943, Becker salvaged all usable tank wreckage he found in France, creating some 1,800 armored fighting vehicles. From July to August 42, Becker converted 170 armored fighting vehicles into Marder 1s, the 75mm self-propelled anti-tank gun, plus further 106 chassis were converted into self-propelled artillery pieces, with 94 converted to carry the 150mm howitzer and 12 more 105mm. In addition, he produced 30 artillery observation vehicles using the same chassis. Great. A message from General Lieutenant von Schnickendorf. Okay. Mein Führer, a whole Soviet infantry regiment, the 436, wishes to defect and join the Wehrmacht in its fight against communism. It is led by Major Kononovo, a Soviet war hero and mostly made up by Cossacks. Should we free some Soviet prisoners and reinforce this unit with them and use them as an anti-partisan role? Maybe we should act differently. Historically, this episode happened near Mogolov, Belarus. Germans provided only 542 men, including 137 non-Cossacks, to reinforce his battered unit, and used the so-called Abteilung number 600 to guard railroads and road junctions. In September, the unit reached the size of 1,799 men. Kononov, born in 1903, was a brilliant Red Army officer whose trust in the Red cause slowly crumbled during World War II, in whom he managed to win many awards, including the Order of the Red Star. Seeing the Red Army terrible situation after the purges, he lost trust in the communist cause. Okay, provide him with more men and equipment. Can't trust him. Manpower. We're going to go with this one. Wesley Rose, the White Rose, was a non-violent intellectual resistance group in Nazi Germany, consisting of students from the University of Munich and their philosophy professor. The group became known for an anonymous leaflet and graffiti campaign lasting from June 1942 until February 1943 that called for active opposition to the dictator Adolf Hitler's regime. The students from the University of Munich comprised the core of the White Rose: Hans Scholl, Sophie Scholl, Alex Schumerel, Willy Groft, Christopher Probus, Trante Luff La Friends, Katerina Schredenkopf, Lindsay Lott, Lido Brundi, Jürgen Wittenstein, Marie-Louise Johann, yes, Falk Harkenack, Hubert Furtwängler, William Geyer, Manfred Eckenmeyer, Joseph Solingen, I'm sorry, I'm butchering some of these, Heinrich Gunther, Heinrich Bollinger, Helmut Bauer, Harold Braun, Rudi Alt, and later Wolfgang Jaeger. Some or all of them pictured there. So what are they thinking? Well, we lose a little bit of unity and gain some dissent. Rename Panzer Armies. No need. Yeah. Our embassy in Graf has information. One of our trustees suggests strongly that an invasion target in French North Africa, most likely West African Dakar. Okay, so that's where they are. Harris, group yourself, cross the river Don. Okay. Bihish Habler? Okay, whatever. Border police was established in August 42 after the conquest of the peninsula through the 17th Army. Okay, so control Army lands, great. See, we doing a sort of harsh occupation, so lots of red areas. We need these guys. Commandeer or Commanderender General der yeah, I should get it. I don't know pronunciation. Truppen und Heeresgruppe or Heeresarbeit A was formed. Okay, sorry, Germans. Okay, yeah, we can afford the manpower and the officers. Man, 270th Infantry Division, the 270th Infantry Division was formed in May 1940 as part of the 10th Weller Wave. However, formation was terminated in July after the armistice of France. This is where I talked about before that this permeated industry. It permeated the military thinking that once France was over, not that all the fighting's over. It's sort of like, I guess, a while ago, Trump, we're putting in some more troops into Afghanistan and all this. Well, to most of America, America's not at war. Yeah, we have some troops. We have some troops back in Iraq. We have some troops in Syria that are sort of special operation troop bases, and we've had some troops in Afghanistan. They say the longest American war. Yeah, in Afghanistan. It depends on how you want to fight or define the longest American war. And that's sort of they want to knock our involvement in Afghanistan. Well, the Korean War's gone on a hell of a lot longer than the Afghanistan war. We're still at war with North Korea, people. If you don't realize that we're still at war. Now we have an armistice, not a peace treaty. We won't shoot at you if you don't shoot at us along this defined border. But that's why we still have troops in South Korea, because we're still at war through the UN resolutions that we can go back and start bombing. We don't have to ask Congress. We don't, Trump doesn't have to ask Congress, doesn't have to ask the UN. We just have an armistice. If we perceive they have to wait for the North Koreans to break the armistice. They've already broke the armistice. They sunk a South Korean ship. They've shelled some islands that are not in their zone, and killed Koreans. The North Koreans have, and this was during the Obama administration. They've broken the agreements of the armistice. If we wanted to, we can go, well, you broke it 2 years ago or 5 years ago. We're attacking now. It just took us this while to be prepared, or whatever you want to say. We can go after North Korea any single moment we want because we are still at war with them. Of course, they can go after us at any single moment that they want because they're still at war with us. So that's gone on longer than because it's since 1950 something, 70 years or whatever. We've been in South Korea, so that war's gone on. Yes, shooting hasn't been happening. Totally agree with you. Other than we're talking about some incidents, sporadic. Periodic incidents. have been happening, shooting incidents. That's been going on for a long time. Oh, well, we had an ongoing war with the Native American tribes, the Indians, um, well, for more than 16 years. There were peace treaties, but it was an ongoing war there, and that easily would have several thousand troops in it. Um, so, if you want to define what is a war, what isn't a war, and whatnot, um, so obviously America is at war because we're fighting in Afghanistan and in Iraq and other places. But, America doesn't feel it as at war. We're not hard up for our troops. It's nothing like this. And this is sort of the feeling that really permeated after the fall of France. And I'm trying to stress this, and I do know some of you already heard this talk a bit, but not everyone watches every episode. So there was this slowdown in raising of troops, slowdown in production, stopping of certain production lines, sometimes just briefly, that really throws off the what-if elements of what Germany could have been producing if they just kept going. Okay, the division was reformed on April 1942 in northern part of Norway as the division remained on the coastal defense duties in Norway for the rest of the war. Just saw an interesting documentary on all the wasted stuff that was done in... Oh, there's a bunch of other stuff. Is this... There it is. So we have a... we'll be back to it. Give it a commander. Okay. Technical Brigade Oil starts its work. 4 days, or the 4 days of Naples, refers to the popular uprising in the Italian city of Naples between that against the German occupation. Okay, well, the text is the wrong text. It's probably pointing to the wrong places. You point the way it normally does is you point to text, to a number that specifies what text, and you probably just put in the wrong thing. So we get another oil rig in Baku. Great. Let's see how many we've got a lot. Okay. Well, since we're here. Defensive, bad. They're not going anywhere. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I've started building an oil rig there. But we'll get another one. So right now we are at 36.4, so that will help us. And we'll see what that changes to. Okay, form NSKK Transport Group Speer. The NSKK Transport Group Speer was formed in July 1944 by merging NSA Transport Brigade Todt and NSK Transport Brigade Speer, with non-Germans being transferred to the Speer or Legion Speer. In October, it was redesignated the NSKK Transport Group Speer. In 1944, it was moved out of the NSKK control and became Transport Force Speer. So this is not my event, but this is taking some of the events that I've given some motorization support to a bit and talked about it a bit further. So I've talked earlier about how this is an NSKK unit, how this starts out, the early stuff is supporting the organization Todt, and then it's supporting the Luftwaffe, and as it's sort of referred to, Transport or Legion Speer, sort of like, they talk about like a foreign legion. It wasn't really a combat unit. I'm not saying they didn't have rifles or submachine guns. In fact, they did. But Legion Speer is starting to recruit a lot of people from occupied zones in a paramilitary role, and then as towards the end there, it becomes its own sort of transport corps, because it's overlapping authorities, it's supporting the army, the Luftwaffe, the construction units, all kinds of stuff. So it morphs through this. But so we're getting some manpower and a bit of really decent bonus to some of the stuff. Okay, deploy railway anti-aircraft artillery. Due to increasing attacks by Allied bombing formations deep into the Reich, a number of anti-air units were increased to protect most important industrial facilities in and around major cities. The heavy investment into anti-aircraft artillery further burdened the inadequate organization of the German armaments effort. Soon the German armaments industry was not able to produce and equip AA guns with standard gun carriages. Thus, many anti-aircraft batteries were permanently installed. I know I talked about that earlier before. The Luftwaffe command MIT, responsible for the Reich Luftverteidigung, their Reich Air Defense, ordered the formation of railway anti-aircraft batteries to compensate for the lacking mobility of parts of his anti-aircraft formations. You can sort of take a flat car like they're showing here and rebuild them into anti-aircraft guns. So those look like pretty big anti-aircraft guns. I mean, the ones look like siege artillery. I don't know exactly what those. Deploy these, so we lose some supplies. Oh, just gain some air defense. Yeah, okay. Well, Marine Commander North Africa secure. I don't really have this. Oh, the 101st was formed. Oh. Where is the 101 British infantry division? It's up here. I can't afford to lose these. That's the 42nd. Somewhere else I could afford to lose it. I just want to see where the thing is. It's something that shattered and back in Berlin or somewhere. Okay. It's the 101st. English, yeah. Where's the 100? There you go. There's the 100. So maybe it is back here. There you are. We need to get out here. Where is down here? Just want to identify where the hell the first is. Looking for yellow. It's sort of our agreed upon color. To tell you that not to rename, not to maybe do what I'm going to do. It depends on where. If I find the unit, where is it? Down here. Don't tell me it's an Africa. Definitely not going to get up with this Africa. Well, I'm gonna at least how long has this episode been going? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna end the episode here. I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank you for liking the videos. You don't need me to see me hunt this up. If it's back somewhere and doing garrison duty, I can. Oh, is it up here in the north? Forward to. No. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. Please post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.